Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I have a bit of a mess going on here, but by doing this video, I'll be able to clean it up. This is a bit of a hodgepodge acquisition type video. Some of the items were okay, let me be accurate about this. Okay, these items were acquired during our recent post-Christmas trip to Colorado to visit my son and his wife and 2 sons. So we managed to squeeze in some antiquing and a couple of thrift stores. I don't want to, keep beating a dead horse because there's nothing that either I or any of you can do about the Canadian dollar exchange rate versus the US dollar. But I must say it has really, it's taken a lot of the fun out of shopping. I found that on this trip, whether it was me looking for secondhand items or the rest of our party looking for, whatever, clothing or whatever, that the only way people bought anything was if it was unavailable in Canada or reasonably priced when you throw in the exchange rate and the provincial state tax. In Alberta, we do not have sales tax. So I know that's an anomaly. It's practically unheard of. But it also makes it that, like, we do have the federal 5% sale goods and services tax, but it kind of irks when you have to pay it elsewhere. Anyway, enough moaning about the things we cannot control. I'll just start somewhere, tell you what's what, and move this thing along. So I bought this book. It's Beatrix Potter's Gardening Life. Now, it is relatively new from what I remember. 2013, so that's still pretty. It's in, well, I guess there's a bit of wear here. It's in really good shape, and of course I bought it for the content because we know that she was prolific in her writing and her illustrations. It has sewn-in signatures, and pages like this are priceless. We're all familiar with, with the little animal illustrations, the bunnies and so on. Now, this was obviously, a scholarly type of thing, but I'm not about to read all that. To me, it doesn't matter. I know what I'm here for. So I'll just do a very quick. So this is the sort of sweet little illustration that we're used to. Isn't that gorgeous too? I believe that's a night blooming cereus. But hey, who knows? I don't think, does it say on what the overleaf is? No. Anyway, so it's got photographs, illustrations. The paper has a bit of gloss to it, but hey, that's not a deal breaker. And I'm sure this would be interesting to read, but honestly, I was always a voracious reader. I was the kind of person that was always reading, in a lineup, at mealtime, in the car, you name it, in waiting rooms. I'd be the kind of person reading the side of the cereal box if there was nothing else better to read. But since beginning junk journaling, my reading has pretty well dropped off. Like, books are tools. I mean, it has to be something really that grabs me. Still life. So I thought this was a great book. Now, it seems to me that I bought it at Goodwill. So I think it was $1.99 US. I'll just put that there and hopefully not hit the camera thing. Now, I went back to, not the Brass Armadillo, the Hamden Street Antique Mall or whatever it's called. And I made a beeline for the bookseller there. And I scored 3 kids' books. And yes, they cost $2 each. Now, this is a children's story by Norman Rockwell. Do we have a year? Yes, we do, 1984. Oh, and I haven't used my trusty little ruler in 2024. So this book is about 10 1/4. Oh, that was me hitting my funny bone to about 8 1/2 or 8 1/4. So it's not a thick book, and you know, kids' books typically aren't. But it's Norman Rockwell, so we know that it will be precious and detailed. I have not truly flipped through these yet because, hey, I was busy, baby. But, you know, it doesn't disappoint. And look at the size of that font. So that was, Willie was different. Geez, I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, I can move that without hopefully hitting anything. The Music Box by Sid Skalski. This has has a dust cover. So, oh yeah, the cover is the same. A bit of damage there, but again, for my purposes, does not matter. This book has these cute little, I don't know, would we call those thumbnails? Let's see, what year was this done? 1946. I don't think anyone was talking about thumbnails back in the day, but I think that would be a pretty accurate description. And in hot pink or fuchsia or whatever you want to call that. Giant font again. It is the sentence of this court that you will be hanged. So, black and white drawing, color drawings, full page thingamajig. So, I mean, who doesn't love a princess and a king? And oh, throw a fairy in and you've got her made. So, just a sweet, sweet book, and in really pretty darn good condition considering its age. So, love that one as well. And then the third one, What Kind of a House Is That? By Harry Devlin. Now, this seems a bit, well, almost 11 by 8 1/4. And it is 1969. Okay, so a model house, a fun house, a mill, a gatehouse. So, yeah, it was the illustrations here, of course, that got me. Now, this paper is matte. Wouldn't that make a great envelope? For the Happy Mail movement, perhaps? An outhouse? Oh. They probably don't mean it as a toilet. A lighthouse, a gazebo, a house of worship, a romantic house, an octagon house, and so on and so on. But aren't these great? I kind of have a soft spot for architectural for these kinds of images. I haven't scratched that itch so far, but who knows, maybe one day. Okay, and this This was, I think it was the second time only in my life that I've been to an ARC, A-R-C, thrift store. I thought this was pretty darn good. It says typing 75. It's in this box. I opened it enough to know that it was I think this, I may have messed this up a bit, the order, but I knew it was a Greg, where's the front here? So it's called a Greg, let me just see what you can see. Oh, pretty good. Greg College Typing, Series 4. I mean, I have other typing books. Let's see if we can find a year. This one is 1979, but I guess the first copyright was 1957. So apparently, okay, I could make this easel type here, stand here, so that it would stand, and this box would hold it in place, and of course, go through the typing lessons. I'm sure everyone by now has seen a typing book, either vintage or newer. So that was good. Then when I finally looked at it a little closer, when I was repacking my suitcase, oh, I guess that's a few sheets, one sheet. I don't know what this is. I thought I was going to say it's typing paper, but then I saw all of this, which is cool. Proof guide, lessons 1 to 75. So I don't know what this is. Helpful guide in proofreading your work. It provides a miniature copy of each page of typed work that you will produce and turn into your instructor as you do the skill drills and production jobs presented in the lessons indicated. Oh, they're saying there's a bit of a, not a perforation exactly, but anyway, they're saying detach the miniature key from this publication and compare your work with it. Did you do the whole assignment? Follow directions, group the lines correctly, take care of other details. And then clip or staple the miniature key to your work. That is so darn cool. This could be, I didn't read that till just now. But couldn't that be like the basis for journaling cards? Because, the size is pretty darn cute. 4 by 3.5. So there's a whole pad of those. And then there's a thicker pad of skill scorecard. So maybe it's not a whole pad of the same thing. It's clearly everyone is different. So there's like letterhead, information about the lessons. See, I didn't look through the whole thing. I just thought that it was all this. Clearly a page like that could become a signature page if you fold it correctly. So this will, of course, take a bit of, oh, here's somebody's work. A bit of exploration. I creased that corner. Okay, so let's see. Were these people any good? And this is, wait, it's got a watermark. Can I see what it is? Okay. Something bond. I don't know. It's not reverse, but is it? Oh, it's erasable bond. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of cool. That's a bonus. So I was pretty happy with that. I think, okay, what did I pay for this? $1.99. So I thought that was pretty cool. What next? This, now I don't have a Cricut, have no desire to have a Cricut, will never have a Cricut unless one fell from heaven, probably. But I can recognize a deal when I see one. I'm just going to see if I can, this side is, I want to see if I can damage this or cut myself open. So this was $1.99, I guess at that same arc, because that's the kind of, I'm not familiar with those price tags otherwise. Anyway, this is apparently 6 sheets of premium vinyl. And, I mean, vinyl is no different than sticker paper, right? So let's just see. I hope I didn't buy a lemon. Ugh. Get rid of that. Cover that. Oh, I need the knife again. Of course, it'll be a job and a half to flatten this out, I'm sure. Oh my goodness, I can't get extricated from this piece of tape. It's still stuck to me. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, well, it's got this tube. Well, I guess anybody who's a Cricut probably knows that. Oh, and it does smell like plastic. Okay. Well, that's good. Lines for this human being to cut things. Okay, so, sheesh. That's pretty cool. That was the one on the outside. Then there's this black and white. Those look like stylized daffodils. And then this one, which is really cool too. If you've watched, let me just take 2 of these and start flattening them. If you've seen the videos I've done since we returned from the trip, you will know that I'm doing that thing on the 20th with Angela, Carol, and Carrie. And I'm just sliding this under my, I just better make sure I'm not bending the, sorry guys. Should have done this before I turned on the video. Anyway, I want to flatten this out a bit and also air it out. I will be doing my Duncan Hines box project with, my project will be purple. Okay, so like I say, mixed bag of stuff. My daughter-in-law opened a thing of candy because she, I guess, wanted help eating it. Pick me, pick me. This was around it. I knew that she's probably going to throw it out, so I, of course, grabbed it. And this is just the first of many examples, especially for people who are new to this whole junk journaling, recycling, repurposing mindset. This is just the first example of how you can get things to work with that, number 1, that are readily available, number 2, that don't cost you anything, and that give your work some personality. I bought a miniature, I think it was at Office oh, I don't know where it was. Anyway, I bought I didn't even know that all these miniature games existed. I bought the Connect 4. So the game itself, which reminds me, I haven't finished unpacking it. I had to quickly jump into making videos and get ahead of the game. It's a little teeny, and I haven't found the game yet again since I packed it. But it was a teeny tiny little Connect 4, which was like too cute for words. So I bought it, and this was part of the packaging. So what am I going to do with it? I don't know yet, but I'm not throwing this away. I bought these things, 6 dry erase labels. They came in this sort of ecru or ivory color as well as white for $1 at Target. And I'm hoping, again, it's one of those things. I say to myself, okay, what does $1 buy you? Not very darn much. Oh, I guess that's just a thing to hold it together. I'm thinking that this is sufficiently, this clippy part here is sufficiently forgiving that it should fit over, you know, photo boxes or a basket or, you know, a lot of different things. And dry erase sounded pretty clever to me because, you know, it's kind of a pain in the butt to always be having to, did I say that on air? It could be a nuisance to kind of have to redo your signs very often. Your labels. Anyway, not sure why I did this, but there you have it. So I hope those work, and if I do put them to use, I will show you how and when and where. I saw this at, might have been Joann, I don't know. Okay, Beacon, same family as Fabri-Tac, and what is the other one? Whatever, I don't know. Anyway, this is a spray. It's 8 ounces. I think it was about 8 something. So, you know, that would be roughly $300 Canadian. That would be a lot Canadian. So it says it bonds fabric, laces, cotton, blends, denim, and more. Premium glue, permanent, dries clear, and washable. So it says shake well. It probably stinks to high heaven too, but, you know, it's all for the good of the work. Pre-wash fabric to remove sizing, no fabric softener, protect work area from overspray, test on scrap material first, apply, hold the bottle 6 to 10 inches away from the surface, apply 2 to 3 pumps of glue to each piece of fabric. Join fabrics together with gentle pressure. Allow to dry 3 hours, washable after 24 hours, water cleanup while glue is wet. And a couple more lines there. And I thought, you know, when we're fusing fabric to something, it's not that easy to smooth out Fabri-Tac, yet we know it's got great grab to it, and it's going to be very reliable. So I know there are other spray glues on the market, but I just thought this was worth taking a chance on. So when I use it, I will show you and I will tell you what I think for whatever that is worth. Okay, this little thing, now it must be fairly old. Can't read the cancellation, but it was a 10-cent stamp. So this is from Loveland, Colorado, and this was in a book. I don't remember which book now anymore. Anyway, cute little note. This was back when people had, I don't know, manners, etiquette. Thank you. Dear Mrs. Graybill, and such formality, thank you so much for inviting me to your lovely neighborhood party. It was so nice meeting and visiting with my new neighbors. Also, I certainly did enjoy your fireplace. Sincerely, Marilyn James. I don't remember the last time I called someone Mrs., for one thing. And unfortunately, if and I'm guilty as the next guy, if I were to be thanking somebody for their hospitality or a nice invitation, it's probably going to be by text or email. So, You know, it's a bit sad that we all collect, hoard all of this wonderful stationery and then don't actually use it. This, I don't know where I got, I don't know. Anyway, I bought this because you can never have too many of these oversized paper clips. So that was the reason for that. Okay. A package of napkins cost 99 cents, 20 of them. Monica, dear, that was a precious little story. Now be a sweetheart and fix Mommy another martini. And I kind of like snark or, you know, this kind of irreverent type humor. And I didn't live in a situation like this, but I can totally see this being true and real. These ladies all dolled up in their pantyhose and their suit jackets and pearls and pillbox hats, but there's the cigarette and there's, yeah, the midday drinking. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Funny. Okay, here are some more examples of free stuff. My people are very much golf people. So my son booked the, what are they called? Berth? I don't know what they're called. But anyway, a little area at Top Golf. So when the waiter spread out all these coasters, you can be sure that I picked up a couple of them. Now, I probably could have gotten all 8 because I doubt that anyone used theirs, to be honest. But anyway, coasters like this are free. I don't know, well, obviously this came from some tourist, place. It might have been in the hotel that we stayed at, whatever. I don't know where I got it, but I grabbed it because it's kind of cool. Wouldn't he look good on in a Western journal? I didn't even open it to see what was inside. Free. If I needed a little bit of a map, free. This is the brochure, and I might have 1 or 2 more, to be honest, because I think maybe my husband picked one up. Antiques Destination. So this is for the brass armadillo. And now, who doesn't love a stack of suitcases? Fussy cut that little armadillo out of there, and you got something cute. Look at this little retro suitcase. I can put my own message on the side. Cover that up if I don't want it to say that. Free. Okay, what else? Okay, I bought this book, Rumi. Now, I didn't refresh my memory. This is kind of wavy because it must have been wet at one time. Maybe this is a bathtub type of book. Rumi, I believe, lived in the 1400s. Was a kind of, mystic and had a lot of wisdom and so on. Anyway, his, I think may have lived in Persia, if I remember correctly. Anyway, a lot of his material has been translated and made more reader-friendly. Let me just pick one at random here. Okay, the eggs of a sparrow may resemble those of a snake, and the seeds of a pear may seem like those of an apple, but the difference between them is boundless. So it's observational wisdom. A lot of it is focused on love and relationships. Okay. When someone complains about an ill-tempered person, you know that the complainer is bad-tempered himself, for the truly amiable are infinitely tolerant. So let's remember that one. I've been known to complain about people. Anger is a spark from the flames of hell. Put it out quickly with your inner light before it consumes you in its blaze. So I just thought that this was worth reading, pondering, using in some projects, you know. Find the one that says what you wanted to say. A fruit is reflective of the soil it grows in, like our thoughts, which reflect the secrets buried in our hearts. Pretty deep stuff, I gotta say. I took I think this was Dollar Tree. There were these cute little, again, trying to save space, cute little fabric swatches. And I didn't realize they were sort of laid out like this or something in the bag. I didn't realize that this was the extent of their width. I suppose if I would have read, yeah, 2 inches by 36 inches. Anyway, still cute. Like, I mean, this farm one is cute. The buffalo check is cute. This is cute. And these I will probably just leave here near my sewing machine to, you know, probably, especially with this one and this one, probably tear them down the center and get a couple of long ruffles out of them. This one I may just keep intact. Now this, I think I was charged $1.99. So this is a book, well, a box, a book, and a deck of tarot cards. Now, apparently, I thought I saw somewhere that there might be a card missing, but again, I don't care. I just thought the artwork was beautiful. I mean, well, it's purple, so there's that. So the backs are lovely. Like the size is, the size is 4.5 by 2 3/4. Yeah, 2 3/4. So the cards, I mean, there are oodles of them. Very ethereal, kind of fairy-like. I mean, they're shiny, obviously, but that's all right. They're in mint condition. And again, if I paid $1.99 for this, so again, this is, I mean, old-timers know this. New people may not. I've got this storage box with a magnetic closure. Well, that's not a very good use of space. I would rip off this piece of ribbon. I don't know that I would say this is a bit, that's a bit much even for me. So I've got a piece of ribbon. I've got a gazillion cards that are beautiful on either side. And I've got this book that looks like nobody's ever cracked open with these black and white, sort of grayscale, full-page illustrations or pages like this that could back something. For less than you spend on coffee at one sitting. 2010. Anyway, enough about that. I'm just trying to make the point that materials are there and they are accessible. I thought this was rather a beautiful book. It's a wee bit off kilter, and I realize that something is going on here. This is starting to tear away. But again, I intend to deconstruct it, so it doesn't matter. Beautiful little cover. I did start reading this in the car because, you know, I was a captive audience there. But look at these end papers. Are they not cool? Two-sided. That could be a book plate. I'd hate to cut. No, I'd rather use that side. These sorts of, I want to say Alphonse Mucha type. Oh, this was the wrapper around the back. I took that off and saved it. Oh, I guess I can leave it there. So this book is about a woman. What was her name? Mary Brooks Picken. Pretty impressive when you think it was the 1920s, and she started an institute for sort of women's, well, fine, I'll read you the line. And at one point, she was so successful in providing a college-level education for women that there were more women enrolled in her school, her institute. See these diagrams in the glossary? Then there are these kinds of things, border trims, little doohickeys to fussy cut. It's divided into 4 seasons. Great old illustrations. Some recipes. Well, this was the original order. So whoever bought this book paid $19.79 in 2012. Anyway, I just want to show you the 4 seasons. Each have a big pocket like that, so that can come out. They're not sewn in signatures. Anyway, fussy cut that. You know, some of the quotes aren't particularly maybe useful, but there's so much other goodness here that I just thought it was great. Here's another pocket. Another pocket. Doesn't that remind you of a pillowcase or something, or a tablecloth? Anyway, I won't obviously read the whole book to you, but I will say, so I did start reading this from the beginning. Okay. Some impressive. Okay, in 1921, educators, artists, and the governor himself gather in Scranton, Pennsylvania for the dedication of the Women's Institute new $1 million structure, calling it the largest women's college in the world. More than 125,000 women from U.S., Canada, and abroad are now enrolled. More than 500,000 women and girls have taken courses in sewing, dressmaking, designing, millinery, and cookery. An author. She was widowed quite early on in her life. This was the first woman who ever applied to or enrolled in the school. Okay, the Institute has its first ad in McCall's magazine, and 4,000 women immediately respond. That was in 1914. Okay, get this. 1850, sewing machines become available for home use with the invention of the hand-cranked and later foot-powered machines introduced by F. Elias Howe, Jr., a few years later perfected by Isaac Merritt Singer. Never knew the guy had a first name or a middle name. 1860s, tissue paper patterns are commercially introduced by Ebenezer Butterick, the tailor behind the famous Butterick patterns. A decade later, his company produced almost 6 million patterns annually. 1870, 8 Western colleges opened their doors to women. As a result, female enrollment in public universities increases by 1,000%. Don't get too excited, which still only comes out to about 7.6% of all women being educated at the collegiate level. Okay, this is the last one. 1877, sewing machines begin to become affordable for the first time. In 1856, so like 20 years earlier, a Singer cost about $125 when the average annual income was $500. So you can imagine how many years it would have taken a woman to save up for a sewing machine. By 1902, consumers could purchase a Minnesota brand machine for $23.20 from Sears, Roebuck and Company. Is that not a cool book? And if anything gets me to complete the sewing journal I started about 3 years ago, this will be it. Oh, I didn't tell you a size, but you can tell. She's substantial. 10 1/4 by 8 3/4 by, an inch or so. Okay, now I don't own anything by Kathy Holden, whatever. This is I was attracted to the cover, then I saw the name and I thought, well, okay, let me check this out. It costs $1.99. So apparently, from the little bit I did read, now this is an attached booklet here, although I suppose I could, no, maybe not. I was going to say I could pull it off. Apparently, this woman got captivated by rosettes. She first saw them in Manhattan years ago. She saw a beautifully tattooed woman whose jacket was adorned with a pink satin prize ribbon rosette embellished by a brass snake centerpiece. It was as if she'd been awarded Best in Show in New York Young Artist Pageant. I was immediately bitten by the rosette bug. Jeez. Do 3 videos a day and lose your ability to speak. So I think I'm still in frame. So this shows some of the projects. Now that's kind of cute. That looks almost Diane Keaton-ish. Some are a bit over the top, but they're kind of cute ideas. Some of these are fabrics in the book. Some are paper, from what I can tell. And the reason I bought this is because there's all this paper in here. And in fact, every single sheet is still here. Now, I don't know whether you can see or not, maybe you can hear, that these are scored because I guess, they're intended to be used for some of the projects in the book. Now, obviously, some designs are nicer than others, in my humble opinion. But have I ever met a piece of paper I didn't like? No, not really. So it just seemed like pretty cool. Anyway, that will need a little bit more of my attention. And maybe I'll never make a rosette, but I've got the paper. Okay, another example of a freebie. This was obvious. Okay, we stayed in Billings because that's kind of how the travel works out. And because I was taking, shall we say, I only got 2. Here, I thought I was taking so many copies. I was a bit in a hurry and tore that crook. But this is a big piece of paper. It's printed on both sides. There's a map, there's some color, a few ads, lists and numbers, and what's not to love about that? Totally free. And if you had more nerve than I do, then you might have taken a few more sheets. Oh, when we were in Wyoming, we stopped at Buffalo because we heard that they had a really, kind of charming main street. So we went there and we turned it into, a meal stop and so on. And we were waiting for this antique place to reopen. I guess the lady had stepped away to do an errand or something. Anyway, as we're doing that, my husband spots a bank across the street. Whoops. And he always wants to buy uncirculated bills in sequence, blah, 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 fresh from the mint. So he went and I don't know if he saw calendars there or if he just asked about a calendar or whatever. And they gave him a couple of choices. Would you like would you just like the pad or do you want this whole thing? Now, he said the whole thing clearly, because that's what you see before you. I'm not going to do anything with that. I don't know. That's just really heavy cardboard, I guess. But look at this. Unscrew these little nuts. Well, I guess I don't need to do that now that I've removed. Oh. I guess we were kind of hoping that there'd be an illustration like this on every page. But these big numbers are just as good. Okay, that answers that question. Obviously, I will remove this so I don't have to, you know, handle this big awkward thing, but free. I bought this at a thrift store because I have a weakness for pretty file folders. And this was, where is the, I just want to see if they're, oh, maybe they're all the same. But are those not beautiful? They could easily be journal. Oh, here it is. I just couldn't see it. This brand is what? Pamela Gladding Incorporated. The Anna Grace collection. Oh, they're identical, but would you not grab this for, what did I say? Was it 99 cents? Yeah, like the price of file folders is crazy. You know, decorative ones are, oh my God. So, love it. Okay, I better speed up. A couple decks of cards. 99 cents. I think this was probably the same. That's kind of an iconic thing. There, I'm sure that's all there is to them. Oh, look at the wild card. You know, you need a splash of red. You need something nostalgic. There you have it. No date that I can see on this. And, of course, as you well know, the box itself can be turned into a journal cover. So, why am I playing with that? Okay, Rocky Mountain birds. We all love birds. These are, look. Oh. Well, that's a ripoff. Why? Why? So I got 5 of these for $1? Now I'm annoyed. How? Did someone switch this? Yes, sir. Based on that guy, Stan whoever. Best-selling field guides featuring 54 of the Rocky Mountain state's most compelling birds. Disgusted. Anyway. Okay, another lesson learned. Check the contents of the box. Back to the freebies. These were in some junk mail that came to the house while we were there. I don't get this kind of stuff. Now, they're all scented, and if scent bothers you, I guess that would be, you know, then steer clear. But, I mean, who doesn't love abs? And this looks like it was designed for a junk journal. Corset type thing, sheer over thing, red hair, platinum skin, no, porcelain skin, peonies. Love it. I think, okay, who is this guy? I've been trying to think of his name. As a rule, not known for his looks, but never underestimate the power of, what do you call it when they airbrush? When they airbrush some abs. Well, maybe he's got abs, but I don't think he looks like that. I can't think of his name, but you know who I mean. Normally his hair, I don't know. You know. Okay, so I've shown you that. Oh, in the car, because I thought I was going to get so much done in the car, I had pre-cut and prepared a lot of these tiny little coloring book images. I took a package of silk embroidery and a needle and a pair of scissors. And I thought, okay, I'm going to just embroider some highlights on, oh, and I also masking taped the back because that prevented, if you saw my earlier video on silk ribbon embroidery, you know that that prevented the paper from tearing, even though this is sort of cardstock weight. But isn't that kind of cute? And it doesn't really take that long. And I have silk ribbons, so, oh, I guess I intended to do more. So again, this is one of those, you know, watching TV kind of things. Because I just think that would be a nice touch, perhaps, to throw in the Happy Mail movement envelope. Or, you know, use in a junk journal project of some sort. So that was that. Excuse me. Well, let me go in order here. I bought this. Now, I haven't drunk the Tim Holtz Kool-Aid. I've said that before. I'm not a disciple. I think the stuff is good, but I also don't want to be one of those people that doesn't use my own creativity, intuition, design sense to create something that only I would put together. I don't want my work to be all the predictable digitals that you see out there with all the predictable embellishments that you see out there. Having said that, though, this was Christmas 2023. It was half price, and I bought it. Now, one night I was, you know, I opened it up and was looking through it. There are very, very many people in here, which, again, I have some of his people, but I don't use them because I don't want to be a copycat. So, I don't know. Why did I buy it? I'm not sure. This was cute. It's a little box. I paid $1.99. Oh, I said that I started, in a recent video, I said I started collecting stickers. So this one is doink, the sound that a, excuse me, that a puck makes when it hits the pipes on the net instead of going in. And this one, anyone who's ever had a hockey player in their family or has had to wash that equipment knows that this stuff stinks to high heaven. And in fact, when we were sitting in the bleachers on the day we left, and these boys are like U14, so under 14, when they came out of the dressing room and were just waiting to go onto the ice surface, the smell of, what is it, 20 or maybe 15 stinky teenage bodies wafted up into the stands like, whoa. I thought this was very sweet. This is like embossed. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, maybe on this side you can see. And I flipped through and I thought, oh, this is great. You know, there are quotes and cute little things. And then I realized that a lot of the illustrations repeat themselves. So I don't know what the whole idea of that was, but I mean, I guess they're good. I guess it's good if you can't, if you like this, but maybe you like something better. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. I have it and I will use it. At the, whoops. Well, oh, there's the little, sorry, the little Connect 4 game. Is that not the cutest thing ever? Hey, can you tell we had a box of Mike and Ike's? So clearly I saved this because this would be a very usable size for a journal cover. Now the only thing is that it would end up having to be trimmed to take into account that little, that little notch there. So one day maybe we'll do a video just on that, pick up kind of packaging. And I picked up this at the antique mall. It's very sweet. I mean, obviously, who doesn't love poppies? And, very clearly 4 quadrants that can be used. Get 4 of whatever out of that. And I need to actually do a video on using hankies because I actually found my stash of hankies. Plus I got some from Angela, which you will see in an upcoming video when I do the reveal. So I need to make it a point to use these in a variety of ways. I have to test myself to do that and make sure that I share it with you. This was a new purchase. I can't remember where I got it. Maybe Joann. Their books were on sale, but still, I hope it wasn't a mistake. I have the sister to this one, which is I think called the Botanical Anthology or something. So cover up the bats and the rodents. Let's pick a nicer page. Oh, there are a lot of mice and stuff in here, but okay. So there are these botanicals in the beginning. Then there were some mammals. Well, I guess some rodents too, some insects, amphibians. And these are full page ones. You probably can't see, but there's where so huge. Some huge stickers as well. Why does it keep opening to the bats? Carol. She loves bats because of their usefulness to society. But there are enough, nice animals here that I think I'll be happy. There's a moose. Anyway, then there's a whole section on mushrooms because they do say, what does it say? Forests, fairies, and fungi. So pages and pages of mushrooms. Every color and description. Lots and lots of those. Which makes me think I better start using them. Some fairies. Who doesn't love fairies? Some birds. So this too, even though, it's a bit pricey, there are hundreds. I don't know that they say what the count is. Hundreds of stickers. They don't even say it there. And I guess maybe the best part is that it's got a built-in storage system. You don't have to kind of wonder what you're going to do with them. And then I thought this was kind of cool in that same image in, 5 different sizes. So this way it takes up like an inch worth of floor space, so to speak, on your bookcase. You can, flip through very easily, see what you want, and you haven't had to make a pouch or a basket or a box or a whatever, and then forget where you had it. So I'm choosing to believe that this was a good idea and a good purchase. I have to say that I was at the, must have been the Brass Armadillo, and there were a couple of books that I saw there, two different, vendors, and one was 15 something and the other one was 25. And I thought, and I thought, and I Googled, and I thought, and I Googled, and I thought some more. I wanted to, the deciding factor for me was going to be whether or not the book was out of copyright. It certainly should have been, based on the ages of these two books, but I've been burnt before, and I wanted to know for sure that in fact they were, and I could not do that definitively on my phone while we were there, so I left without them. But then I think to myself, okay, this was $25, well, less 20. That was, the same, or one was less. Which is going to provide me with greater use, benefits, satisfaction? Like, I don't know. I guess if we would have gone back again, I don't know. Both books were beautiful. But again, I can't stop myself from doing the conversion and the math. I bought this at the thrift store. It's still wrapped. 3 of these composition books. And I thought I read, Made in Vietnam. Why did I think? I thought they were, anyway, I don't know what I thought. Maybe I mixed this up with something else. I haven't opened this, obviously, and I don't think I will just yet. But I do want to, on camera one day, do a smash book video. And in fact, someone I just answered a comment today about that, sort of giving my definition of what my understanding of that is. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with these, and I have to find the one that I did start, just to refresh my memory. But this is the sort of book that becomes the basis of that. So I guess at some point you expect to see that. This is, this will come in handy with my purple thing. This is one of those, this is a prototype, people. You buy something like this, you pay $2.99, but look, you've got a prototype. Or you just modify this in some way and it becomes your journal cover. Sew a signature in there. You've got this really nice built-in pocket right there. And lovely mauve envelopes, which I can definitely use in this project. And this paper. And the beauty of this is that if you fold it like so, it just looks that you have this clever, delicate little design running up the side of your page. It doesn't look like you don't know which side is up, even though that may be the truth. I'll put this away soon. And, okay, what was this? I don't know where this came from. Maybe, I guess it fell out of this box. But, 2 more things. At the antique mall, I found a gorgeous piece of bark cloth. Now, I don't know why I have a weakness for this stuff, but I do. Anyway, it has a wonderful texture. It's got these vibrant floral colors, and it was hemmed. There was like it was a piece of drapery. So I took it apart I saved this, of course, because, like, hey, I wasn't born yesterday. Mama didn't raise no fool. I'm not throwing this stuff away. I see this. The salvage edge is still there with the printing. They had never turned it under, but it had been lined, which means that it didn't sun rot, which is a plus. And even this was sort of sewn together and pieced together to make it long enough. So this looks like two different pieces of fabric. Anyway, my daughter-in-law does a lot of laundry with those boys. And she seems to have a knack for getting stains out and stuff. So I said, do you mind next time you're doing a load, just throw this in? She did a special load. But anyway, so it freshened it up, but it did not remove, wait, I thought I saw them. It did not remove, a stain like that. But again, do I care? No, I don't. Now, I paid a fair bit for this, but I have quite a bit. I didn't obviously have any mechanism for measuring it, but let's just fold this in half. We can still multiply by 2. Haven't lost that ability. So it is, say 23 inches wide. And umpteen feet long. No, I'm just being funny. Funny. So this is doubled. So let's quadruple this. But I don't know. Oh, forget it. It doesn't matter. It's becoming unwieldy to do this. I would think, though, now I made a mess of this folding. I folded it Marie Kondo style. Oh, and we didn't put it in the dryer. It just hung over something to dry for a few hours. I'm sorry if I'm flashing this right in your face with my attempts to refold this. Okay, so this is 1, 2, well, not quite 3 folds. I don't know. I think I love it, so I'm not going to agonize over what I paid for it. And this would be so gorgeous to do some slow stitching on. There are, again, there's, like, can you imagine how beautiful that would be as a journal cover? And that's with part of it, cut off by the edge. Anyway, so I was really happy about that. And again, don't throw stuff like this away because it's gold. And my final purchase, and this cost a lot of money. And when you're trying to be aware of how much volume and weight your suitcases, all your possessions are going to take in this vehicle, I'm just pushing my favorite cards aside, like maybe into the garbage, but I'm not bitter. This book is so big and so heavy. It's from 1990. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. I slapped this baby. It's almost 12 inches. It's 11 3/4 by 9 1/4. I put this baby on the bathroom scale this morning because I was just curious, because I know it's a heck of a thing. 8.6 pounds. It is the American Showcase, book 1 of 2. There was only this one. I probably would have been foolish enough to buy both had it been there. And it, of course, what got me was the word illustration. And I haven't flipped all the way through this. I was enjoying this, though. This book is full of illustrations of virtually any kind. Look, Santa's big nose, a little kid, this Salvador Dali kind of, you know, kind of weird stuff, sweet and angelic, cat lovers, like, okay, let me just find you the year before I gush on anymore. Thought it was in the 1996, volume 19, book 1. So every page, well, not every, most pages are just unbelievably gorgeous, unbelievably useful. You know, some of this stuff I would never use because it's just not me. However, there's plenty to, I won't live long enough to use all of this. And look at these. Could those not be awesome journal cards if a person was doing a superheroes book? I might have to harvest this thing and put it into packages or something by theme. You know, sort of that era of having tea at the plantation kind of thing. Got stuff in the way here. It's not flipping very easily, but there is, and it seemed to keep opening. Look at this kid feeding that. Okay, number 1, you don't feed chocolate to dogs, but I guess, you know, maybe in the ad world it's okay. And that's just the first few pages. I don't know, every time I opened this book up to show somebody something, it always opened up to Katharine Hepburn. Is that not worth framing? I don't know who this guy is, but he's equally as beautiful. I think I might have put a post-it in. I don't know how far I got, to be honest, but there's a lot of looking here. Not to mention using. Again, weirdo stuff that's not my cup of tea. But look at that fruit, good enough to eat. And I guess it features, look at the caricatures of those ladies. Lucille Ball, and I guess that's Roseanne Barr, and Carol Burnett, and what is her name? Bette Midler, and Joan Rivers, and that's probably, no, that might not be Dolly. Anyway, just page after page after page. Well, I can tell you exactly how many pages. I never got this far. Not by a long stretch. Okay, of actual pages. Oh, I got some water. I got some wrinkly stuff here. Where? These, how come there are page numbers here? Okay, up to here is 911. And there are a bunch after that, so I don't understand that, but anyway. So I guess it acknowledges the actual creator of the artwork. Love some watercolor flowers. You know, some designs that we've seen on product packaging. That is lovely. Cracker Jacks. What wonder that later in life it should be inclined to raise those feet too swiftly to fools and bores. Oh, I should have read. Genius goes around. Well, that's quite the ad campaign, isn't it? I guess he needs a vitamin to grow up a little faster. Again, some of these, totally not me. I can see using those two gals. So I paid for this, but again, I would never have to buy another piece of paper if I had that discipline. Anyway, guys, I've kept you, I'm sure, far too long. I hope you have enjoyed this flip through. Oh, I forgot to say that I will be using the hashtags Not Too Shabby Chic, hosted by Dale, Thrifty Thursday, hosted by Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming, and our Canadian version, Thrifty Canucks, hosted by Kim Newberg, who is also the founder and creator of hashtag Happy Mail Movement. And let the credits roll. Okay, guys, thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.